We often look at others and think, why is their life better than mine? Why do they have more while I struggle with less? Sometimes we forget that every person has their own journey, their own struggles, and their own blessings. What you see outside is never the full story. So if you have ever compared yourself to someone else, then this story is for you. Listen carefully until the end, because it may change the way you see your life. Once in a small, quiet village lived two young men named Aaron and David. They had grown up together as childhood friends, but as they became adults, their lives started to look very different. David was quick, clever, and lucky in almost everything he touched. He started a small trading business, and soon people admired him. He dressed well, spoke confidently, and became known in the village as a successful young man. People would say, "Look at David, he is going to be rich one day." Aaron, on the other hand, lived a very simple life. He worked on a little farm with his old father. He wore plain clothes, earned just enough to live, and rarely drew attention. To him, even a day's food on the table was a blessing. But the villagers did not see it that way. They often whispered, "Poor Aaron, his friend David is shining like a star while he remains in the shadows. Why can't he be more like David?" At first, Aaron tried to ignore such comments, but slowly they began to trouble him. Every time he saw David praised by others, he felt smaller. Every time someone compared the two of them, Aaron's heart grew heavier. One evening, while sitting by the river, Aaron finally spoke to his father. "Father, why am I not like David? Why does he succeed in everything, while I live such an ordinary life? I feel like I am nothing." His father looked at him with calm eyes and said, "My son, never compare your life with others. You are a seed, and David is also a seed. But different seeds grow in different seasons. The mango tree takes years before it bears fruit, but when it does, it gives shade and sweetness for generations. The rose blooms quickly, but its beauty is short. Every life has its own time." Aaron listened, but he could not fully understand. The pain of comparison was still strong. Time went on. David's business grew bigger, and his name spread beyond the village. People admired him, and Aaron's heart felt more and more restless. He thought, maybe my father is just trying to comfort me. Maybe he doesn't understand. But then something unexpected happened. A long drought came to the region. Rain stopped, rivers dried, and the land turned brown. Crops failed, and food became scarce. People panicked, not knowing how they would survive. David's trading business collapsed because no one could afford luxuries anymore. The villagers who once praised him now avoided him. Aaron's little farm also faced the drought, but there was a difference. Over the years, while working quietly, Aaron had learned how to save water, how to take care of soil, and how to grow simple crops even in hard times. His harvest was small, but it was steady. He had enough food for himself, his father, and even some to share with hungry neighbors. The same villagers who once compared him to David now came to his door. They said, "Aaron, please help us. We know you worked on your land with patience. Can you guide us? Can you share what little you have?" Aaron, with a kind heart, gave what he could. His steady hands and simple habits became a source of hope for many. One evening, David came to Aaron as well. With sadness in his eyes, he said, "Aaron, I always thought I was ahead of you. People praised me, and I believed I was the lucky one. But now in this time of drought, it is you who has become our strength. Your patience and hard work have saved lives. My riches could not protect me, but your steady heart has given me courage." Hearing this, Aaron finally remembered his father's words. He realized that his life did not need to look like David's. He understood that his worth was not less just because his journey looked different. For years, he had compared himself and felt small. But the truth was, every life has its own value, and every path has its own purpose. The drought slowly ended, and life in the village returned. But Aaron was never the same again. He no longer looked at David with envy. He no longer felt weak when others achieved more. Instead, he carried peace in his heart, knowing that his story was his own, and that was enough. Maybe you look at others and feel behind, like Aaron once did. You think they're more successful, happier, or living better lives. But what you see isn't the whole truth. Everyone carries unseen struggles. Remember, you were never meant to live someone else's story. Like trees and flowers, each life blooms beautifully in its own time. The real lesson is this: don't compare your life with others. Accept who you are and trust the timing of your own story. Because one day, just like Aaron, you will see that your path also had a purpose all along. Maybe something in your life doesn't make sense right now. Maybe you feel small compared to others. But hold on, because your time will come. Just be patient, be thankful, and never forget, you are enough exactly as you are. If you like this story, don't forget to leave a like, share in the comments what you learned from it, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.